Ag Day is brought to you by FBN Finance, experienced loan advisors putting farmers first with farmland rates as low as 4.99%.
The soybean rallies seem to fizzle out ahead of the holiday weekend. AgDay's Michelle Rook has a look ahead in markets now.
Well, grain and livestock futures trading mostly lower on Friday with the exception of some fractional gains in corn. Darren Fry is in with analysis. And Darren, let's look back at Friday. The greens felt like maybe we were seeing a little profit taking going into the holiday. Is that what kind of held us back?
Yeah, I think so. Grains did have a nice week last week, and whether you looked at wheat, corn, or soybeans, obviously soybeans and meal kind of led the complex, but they had a good week and a little profit taken on Friday, things finishing up unchanged. Maybe corn was a little higher if I remember right, but good candles for the weekly closes. We'll see if these markets can't continue to follow through here this week.
Yeah, let's talk about that because we're up into chart resistance. So what do you think it's going to take to get above those levels? And are you bullish right now with the higher weekly closes or not?
Well, I have been friendly soybeans and meal. I think there's a story there. I don't know if China's going to buy. If they do, the story is on the balance sheet because we'll get pretty snug there. And even though South America has a huge crop, probably 6-7 million metric tons more than a year ago, when you add everything up, this is a strong seasonal for beans into May. And so if beans can keep their footing, then that's going to help corn. But I think the real anchor here on the grain complex is wheat. A lot of reasons for that, but wheat has not shown the ability to get up and go. And I think corn could be pulled up by beans and back down by wheat unless somehow wheat can get going.
And the cattle market ended mostly lower despite some higher fed cattle trade on the cash side of things. Is the market tired?
This is a time of year, especially when a trend's been up for 63 months. And this is the longest duration. We track cattle trends back in the early 1800s, and this is the longest the monthly time frame has ever been up. And so time ends trends, and we're getting pretty stretched. We could have an end to this trend and a pretty decent break here as we pass spring into summer. Only time will tell, but charts are tired, and I think the Packers will try to get their margins back here at some point.
Thanks for joining us, Darren Fry with Water Street Solutions. That is Markets Now.